Hey guys, Richard here for Beyond College Success. And today's topic I'm really excited to share with you. And it is 2 ways college screw you over. Alright, I would like to prefix this video by saying by no means am I trying to attack college. Quite frankly, I do think they are making some effort, but a little bit too slow for my own liking. That's why obviously I'm coming here and shooting this video and trying to share in as much as I've learned in college and help you avoid some of those pitfalls that I went through. Now, of course, they're not major, but those minor things that you might overlook tend to result in major damage in people's lives. So do not discount the 2 points I have to make here in this video. So number one way college screw you over is this. There's no real love towards learning. So what exactly do I mean by this? I mean your attitude towards learning is as a result of external influences rather than internal. Now this is quite the same as saying you are extrinsically motivated rather than intrinsically motivated. Now I mean learning though. I mean learning. I'm not talking about motivation. I mean learning. Are you motivated to learn, or you're simply being pushed to learn based on some external reward you will get at the end, right? I really want to make you understand this, and the way I think I'm going to do this is by giving you this analogy, right? It's not actually an analogy, it's really the realistic model. So we have the internal world, which is yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, who you are. All these are the internal world. And then we have the external world, which is the world of achievements, success, actions. All these are the external world, right? Most people focus on just the external world, right? Getting all those external success, right? Maybe it's that car you want to get, or maybe it's that job you want to get. All these are outside you, right? I find that far too often a lot of people focus on just the external and then they ignore the internal. Now, of course, you want those external things because of how they will make you feel internal. So my point would be, why would you ignore the internal just to focus on the external? And a lot of people will just neglect everything that has to do with inside, and they'll focus on the outside situation, right? So there's a difference here when we are learning simply because we want to get some external reward, or are we learning because of the internal reward we want to get? Or are we just learning for the sake of learning? Not to blame our educational system, though. I think personally every individual is kind of at fault here. So by no means am I blaming all this on society and just the general educational system. But I do think that our educational system do play a massive role in how we approach learning. Learning should be a fun thing that everyone is involved in and continually engaging in throughout their lives, right? But today, this is not the case. A lot of people stop learning at a certain point, right? Why is this? Well, education beats this down to beat this out of them. For example, the way I kind of look at it is society, or education, should I say, use this stick and carrot model or stick and carrot principle, whereby there's an external reward that you have to work hard to get. Right, so most people are actually studying just to get to some point, right? After they get that point, guess what? They'll stop learning. That's what's going to happen. Majority of the time, most people just stop learning when they get to that specific point, because the formula is work hard to get a nice job, or work hard to get nice grades so that you can get a nice job. So this is how education is right now. But I would say that the reason why we are talking about this is because it's not actually a very sustainable way of actually creating long-lasting success, right? More of the reason why we are talking about it, right? So in a way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard to get those top grades or work hard towards getting that job, but are you really coming from the inner world paradigm, or you're coming from the external world paradigm? The external world being, okay, first of all, you want to just get top grades because everyone else is getting top grades, right? That would be external reward. or you want to get top grades because your mom and your parents and your family, you want them to think highly of you, so you go out there and achieve high grades. Is that why you're studying? Is that why you are learning? Right, I won't submit to you that that isn't learning actually. Yes, sure, you might get the results. Of course, the results are the same, whether you use intrinsic or extrinsic way of learning or motivation, you're going to get the result. But of course, when you get that result, would you be satisfied with it? And this is more of the reasons why I'm telling you to really kind of revert this process and start learning just for the sake of learning. Start learning for start learning the things that are important to you, and don't base it on external thing. Of course, an example would be like I'm just particularly interested in, I don't know, for example, say music, because music is something I'm interested in, but I really want to become good at it, not because of anybody else, right? I really want to become good at it. It's an example that I think really drives home the point I'm trying to make here. But you see that that is simply not about anybody else. It's simply coming from inside, and it's simply as a result of how I feel, right? And if you're going to have any extrinsic motivation to yourself or extrinsic reasons why you're doing something in your life, let it be about other people, not just about you alone. I think that's really the point I'm trying to drive home here. So what's real love for learning? Real love for learning, by my definition, is about your love to cultivate, or your ability to cultivate love for different subjects, right? You're not really concerned about grades. And I see this happening while I was in college, whereby people were just way too picky on grades. They wanted to know exactly what percentage was going for a specific session of an assignment, or they wanted to know what a project percentage was, so that they could balance their effort and not put in the work that is required. My question to you in that case would be, does it really matter what grades you get in college? Does it really matter? Or what matters the most, I would strongly suggest, is that your ability to learn about that specific subject. So if you're given an assignment, screw the grades. The grades doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You really need to get away from this stick and carrot model, right? And be more intrinsically motivated. For example, I'll give you a quick example. So when I was in college, they will give us several assignments. Most people will be concerned about the grades, how much they can get in it. But then I just kind of looked at it. I said, you know what, this is quite fascinating. I really want to learn about that stuff, right? And I go ahead and learn about the stuff. And for the most part, I tend to do bad in those assignments. Not poorly, but I don't tend to get excellent grades, right? Because I'm too hung up on the learning process, how this work, right? That's where your mind really come alive, right? When you're not just starving it by putting extra pressure or external pressure on it. You just let it flow and let it learn as much as it possibly can. So that's what I'll be suggesting, and this is what I'm currently doing in my life. So that's what I'm saying. So what's the real solution here? The real solution here is to start reversing this process, right? For example, you need to start shunning all those external rewards that you get as a result of doing something. Don't let your learning be as a result of grades. I think that's the worst trap ever, at least in college. Do not do this. Number two way college screw you over is this: fear of failure. What's your model of failure right now? Is it that failure is good or failure is bad? Well, I want to submit to you that the chances are your model of failure is that failure is a bad thing. Not only do our educational system support this idea, or at least do not teach us how to deal with failure, but the general society are on this. They are hooked on it. Everyone is afraid of failure. So if you're afraid of failing, you stay stuck, right? And the way the educational system does this is, well, you're not really encouraged to fail, right? Nobody goes around talking about how they failed in certain aspect of their life. Nobody talks about this, right? They only talk about their success. Well, I want to submit to you that failure is actually a good thing. And I think there's a risk here if you go through your college being a high achiever that you guys are, and you are quite intelligent, you know what's going on, you like your degree. There's a chance that you just gonna go through your degree knowing everything, right? Doing things in a specific way, and at the end of it, you really haven't failed, except you're doing something outside college that's giving you that aspect or giving that flavor of failure. You really never gonna experience failure in its real form, right? And I think failure for me, I didn't. I spent almost 5, 6 years in college, right? And only in my last year I really came to understand what failure meant. Ever since then, for almost 23 years of my life, failure was something I was running away from. But now I think failure is actually a good thing because now I know about failure. I know the feeling. I know how to handle it and how to channel my expression into or my feelings into different aspects and be able to dig my way out of it, right? People who are successful failed a lot. And the chances are, or my warning to you is that if you do not pick up something that will deliberately make you fail, then you're just gonna go through your college experience, you're gonna ace all your degree, you're gonna get top grades, and you're gonna be employable. But the bottom line here is that you haven't failed. You haven't really understand what failure is in a very deep sense, right? In a very deep sense. I'm not just talking about, yeah, sure, you did an assignment wrongly and they give out to you and then you make some corrections. Those are although minor failures, but I mean set up big failures for yourself so that you learn from that. Yeah. Like for example, maybe I don't know, but I'm not saying you should go fail all your modules. That will not be a clever thing to do. But I do think that anything that's not risky, or at least it's not going to cost you a lot, go out there and fail in those things. Really get a feeling of what failure is. And I tell you, if you understand what failure is, then you can use it to your advantage. It's quite powerful, actually. And I don't know why they don't tell us about stuff like this. So those are my two ways I think college fuck you in the ass or screw you over in the ass. Leave me your comment. Let me know what you think about this topic, and I shall see you later.